Some says heroes, while the other says the right choice of spell and item, while some says the correct team composition always helps you rank up. But the most important thing is awareness, map awareness to be precise, and that awareness comes from constantly looking at the minimap and deciding your move after seeing your enemies. And for that, you need vision. What's better at providing vision than words? In this video, we will take a look at certain word placement that will definitely step up the information you get from the map. When starting from the bottom side of the map, one of the most important places to have vision is the place from where the enemy jungler or the mid laner might come to gank the bot lane. To get vision for that place, you need to place your ward right at the center of the river. This ward can provide vision of both the enemy jungler leaving his jungle and approaching, and also the enemy mid laner doing the same. However, you can one up this ward and place it inside the bush. Placing it inside the bush is more advantageous, as the one in the bush will also reveal the enemy who are hiding inside the bush. It's better to place that ward in the bush for enemy heroes that can dash or flash directly into the bush. That would be undetectable for the one at the center. Now let's say you are duo lane in the bottom side of the map. So while you place one ward at the entrance from the river to the bot, you will have one ward open. Now this ward can have two options, a defensive one or an aggressive one. One of the best aggressive ward option is to place it right between the enemy blue buff and the Groms. This ward is very crucial as it gives your jungler important information of when the enemy jungler is clearing his camp and how high or low his health is. Your jungler with this information can invade the enemy and get some decent steals, which will put your team ahead. Here in the example, I put the ward right at the same location. I see the enemy hasn't taken those camps yet, which means he is towards the red side of their map. A few moments later, enemy jungler comes to the camp and is spotted. I tried to harass but wasn't really doing very good, so my Jhin also spots and sees the chance, and we decide to invade the jungle, getting an easy takedown and the buff. While it won't always work, it's those small chances where it may work that counts. A lead is a lead. Now for the defensive one. You can place the ward right at the entrance of the enemy jungle. While it may not seem so significant, but this ward will help you tell when and where the enemy jungler is heading towards after he leaves his jungle. This information can help your team decide their next action. Now if you are feeling super confident that you will not get ganked, you can go ahead and place a ward right at the enemy wolf's camp. It's better to have the information at the very start of when and where the enemy jungler is. Thus, you can intercept the enemy jungler when he proceeds to take his blue. This ward is a very risky one as you crawl your way too deep into the enemy jungle. So the enemy can catch you by surprise and you will have little to no escape. Now let's move towards the middle lane. In the middle lane there are two important ward options and both are equally beneficial. The first one is right at the vertical bushes next to the lane. A ward inside those is a really good ward. Another option is a little towards the river at the small bush. That ward is also really very good for reading enemy movements and ganks. Let's take a look at both their benefits. If you place your ward on the small bush, you will be able to see the enemy jungler's movement in the middle part of the map. You will also be able to check when and where the enemy jungler leaves. Also, you will have a heads up of which and how many enemies are heading towards the middle lane. If you place your ward inside the bush, you will be able to see the enemies hiding inside the bush, which cannot be seen in the previous location. But in this case, if you choose to rotate from the river, you can be caught by the enemy hiding in the small bush. Either of the location you place your wards at, do place one. The mid lane is the lane which is most prone to ganks and you need wards here for sure. Without wards you can get ganked in unexpected ways and it will be like fighting with your gloves down. Now looking at the top side of the enemy jungle, one ward you can place is directly onto the red buff camp. It's always a good idea to have the enemy buffs under your vision. It helps determine when it's a good time to invade. You can always go ahead and put a ward near the bushes of the red buff camp as well, but this ward is rather difficult as your chances of getting ganked increases more compared to the chances of you ganking the enemy. Another great placement is towards the entrance of the jungle from the mid lane. This ward is again an important placement. This can help you determine when the enemy jungler enters or leaves his jungle for the lanes or for the gankings, thus helping you decide when and where to strike him at. Now towards the top side of the map, one of the most crucial wards is still going to be the one at the bushes or right at the center, same as the first ward in the bot lane. It is majorly to help you foresee enemy movements towards the top side of the map and predict their ganks. You can also place a defensive ward right over here to foresee whether the enemy is entering your side of the jungle while your jungler is clearing the camps on the other side of the map. It's always a good strategy to keep yours in check before prying for enemy camps, else you might end up losing more than what you gain. You can also put a ward right after the enemy crux camp over here. This can tell you if the enemy are approaching from the jungle side of their map or if the laner is retreating. Sometimes the game might not go very well in your favor and you might be forced to take a defensive stance. In such cases, it's always a good idea to have your blue and red buff warded, thus preventing enemy from stealing and further increasing their leads towards you. Lastly, always ward dragon and baron pits whenever you can. Those objectives you need to have covered all the time. You need to know when the enemy is attempting to take them, which can help you steal. So that was it from our ward placement video. These were some of the most helpful ward placement which will work almost all the time. Remember, spam those wards. Let your team have crucial vision. It will definitely help you. Thanks for watching and I hope I see you guys in the next one.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.